Të dashur teleshikues të televizionit të shqiptarëve të Amerikës, sot jam drejt për drejt në emisionin ton Argument me një lidhje të drejt për drejt me Los Angelesin, me një gazetare që kohët e fundit ka bërë emër, si të thuash, për shqetësimin e përgjithshëm për gjendjen emocionale të fëmijëve, të cilët përdoren shpeshherë apo futen në rrugët e lidhjes së mass mediave për të bërë influencierë. Madje libri i saj i fundit që po pritet të dalë në muajin prill është vlerësuar edhe nga Washington Post. Kam zonjën apo zonjushën Fortesa Latifi, e cila jeton në Kaliforni dhe natyrisht këtë e shes si shqetësim jo vetëm të saj, po të gjithë opinionit publik. Fortesa, mirë se erdhët.
Faleminderit shumë.
Si titullohet libri juaj?
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited for you all to read it. I know that you saw that the Washington Post just named it one of the most anticipated books of 2026. So I'm so excited, and it comes out in April.
Okay. Diçka mjaft pozitive dhe të përfundosh në listën si Washington Posti apo New York Timesit është vlerësim. E në këtë kohë, çfarë vlerësohet nga pikpamja juaj, nga personat të cilët ju kanë kontaktuar, nga personat me cilët ke bashkëpunuar për librin? Çfarë vlerësohet në shqetësimin tënd? Se në fakt ky është një libër i ngritjes së një shqetësimi që na takon të gjithëve për të mbrojtur brezin e ri nga një fenomen që është bërë fenomen tashmë masiv.
Yeah, I think that this is a huge conversation that people are having. You know, influencers are big. I know they're really big in America. I know we have them in Kosovo and in Shqipni too. And people are just so fascinated because at least with, you know, child actors, we have these protections, we have these laws that protect them, but we don't have that with influencer kids. And I really think this is the next big issue that's going to come up.
Yeah, I saw some states, even yesterday in Great Britain, they blocked X because some issues on that. So talking about kids, influencers, so how we have to educate them. That's the main problem, to educate them and their parents. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know. It's hard to say because sometimes I think they know what the risks are, but the money is just so good that it's worth taking the risks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, money is money.
Money is, you know?
Even the kids do not think too much about the money. They think to be present in the social media. But
and popular, and yeah.
And according to your studies, you are a journalist. So you describe, because I have not read the book, is not yet out. Do you describe situation or cases of different children who have gone through this new way of social thinking, I'll suppose, to be an influencer?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of pressure on these kids. So one young woman that I talked to told me that she feels a lot of pressure that her family's entire income is based off of her. So her dad told her, you know, we're doing this. This is our family business. And she said, you know, Dad, I don't want to do YouTube anymore because that's where they make most of their money. And he said, okay, that's fine, but we're going to have to sell our house. We're going to have to sell our car. Mom and I are going to have to go back to work. So it's really a lot of pressure on these kids because you think in regular families, like I never felt any pressure to pay the bills for my parents, you know, but these kids do, they feel that pressure.
So it's a family way of thinking. You see, in this case, it's a family that's pushing the child, I will say, rotating the child in a certain mode, not thinking about the harm that they do to the child. Even the child thinks, oh, it is interesting. Yeah, you mentioned this case. So what other interesting situation you have discovered during your analysis to write this book.
Yeah, something that I thought was really interesting was when I was researching before I did the interviews, I saw that the videos and the content that did the best was the content where kids were hurt or they were sick or they were sad. That was the stuff that did the best. And I at least thought, okay, well, maybe the parents don't realize this. Maybe they're just trying to spread awareness or whatever. And then I asked the parents what stuff does the best, and they said, the stuff where the kids are hurt or sick, and they know that this does well, and they're recording it for that reason.
So the stuff about the kids that are sick or that are feeling. So, what do you think the other kids that are watching these kids, that are influenced by these kids, they find the same situation, want to find the same similarity in the life of other kids?
Yeah.
Is that
I think
who attracts?
Yeah. It's interesting because I do wonder, what is it that draws us to this content? Like, they wouldn't be making it if people weren't consuming it and watching it, right? But I think it's kind of the way that people, in America, we say you stop and you stare at a car crash. Like, you can't help it. If something bad is happening, you want to look. And I think that's the same way that people are on the internet.
So that's an attitude that comes from inside, from the instincts of social instincts of individuals, because they are younger kids. So in your research, have you found which is the youngest kid who is doing this kind of influencing?
Yeah, that's what's so interesting, is that some of these kids are influencers before they're even born. So the parents will make accounts for them while they're still in utero, and they'll put ultrasound photos.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And they'll get hundreds of thousands of followers, and it's pictures of them. They haven't even been born yet. And so you ask, how young are they? It's before they're even born.
That's a mania.
I know. Why don't you not? It makes me feel sad.
Fortesa, so by analyzing, by researching, by viewing the situation of different kids, what is your conclusion? How this situation can be improved? Is there a way, or it is not? What society has to be done? What educators needs to do?
Yeah, I think it's difficult because this has already been happening for 20 years, right? At least in America, people have been making money off of kids being on social media for 20 years. So we have kids who have already grown up who, if there are laws now, it won't affect them. Like, it's already done. And so I don't want to say like the cat is out of the bag, as we say, but it does kind of feel like it's really late now to be doing something. But I think the best thing that we can do is try to educate parents on privacy and online footprint and what it means to have that privacy and make those decisions for yourself. Because I think about, I'm 32, and when I started getting on the internet, I was like 16, and I was making those choices myself. My parents weren't making them for me. And so it's a very different conversation when your parents are making that choice for you. And I think we see that now, that a lot of parents are making the opposite choice also. So like, I have a daughter, she's a year and a half old, and I don't show her online at all, just because I want her to be able to make that choice when she's old enough.
Yeah. You remember me something in Albania. It happened, I heard in the news. There was a grandma was putting her grandson to curse on internet, to say dirty words in internet. That has been discovered and so on. So the extreme of these cases, they can go anywhere. In this moment, during your research, have you talked to psychologists or educators? What is their opinion? Because it's something happening for a long time, but it's a new thing from the point of view.
Yeah, relatively new, yeah. Yeah, I think they have a lot of concerns about what this will do to the relationship between the parent and the child, because if a child feels like they can't go to their parents and tell them something, because then the parent might put it on the internet. What does that do to the bond and the trust between the parent and the child? And then also, you know, you see, I've talked to influencer kids who they grow up and they go to high school or whatever, and people are looking up videos of them when they were a kid in a diaper on the internet. You know what I mean? So like, that's just like, you can never really grow up past what you were on the internet, which I think is really difficult.